Suicide is a real thing. Um, my best friend died from suicide, um, which is really sad because she was a really good friend. I forget how she did it, but she did. She committed suicide. Um, about 3 years ago to maybe 2 years ago, I tried to OD because I couldn't handle the fact that my mom was getting bad. I couldn't handle the fact that um, I lost Andrew in the fire, and I tried to OD. I was sent to the hospital and drank charcoal, um, and I remember that day I was just going through a lot of anxiety and a lot of just my family was treating me like crap or whatever, and it was just feeling hopeless and just not, happy. Selfishly trying to take my life wasn't the way to go, and I'm happy that I'm still alive. I looked at my son and I just was selfish and just looked at him and thought he'd be okay without me. And now that I look back on it, I know that he wouldn't be okay without me because I'm his world, and his rock. And, me and him are always going to have a good relationship. And he's young. He doesn't need to lose his mom. Sometimes I have suicidal thoughts. Sometimes I want to honestly kill myself sometimes, but I don't. Before I had my son, before I got pregnant and all that, I was somewhat emo, as you would say. I would cut, I would burn, I would do it to self-harm myself. I would self-harm myself. I have scars right here from it. I don't know if you can see that good. But I have burn marks by my wrists on this arm, and I have cut marks. I remember the first time I self-harmed was when I was like 17 years old. My boyfriend at the time was mentally abusing me, and I took a nail filer and just filed my skin away. That was the first time that I ever self-harmed. After that, I would self-harm, and then many years went where I didn't self-harm. So self-harming is not good. I would use razors, just anything I could. I had a bad experience with this guy that just made me be on camera with him 24 hours a day, and I hated me in his relationship, but I just dealt with it, and then finally decided to block him and just not have anything to do with him anymore. And I actually cut my skin with scissors, and I have those scars right here. I haven't self-harmed for a long time. I promise, I repented for that. I actually watched a person online that's a witch that said if you want to get rid of old habits, to use something that represents a bad habit and burn it and do your own thing. So I burned my razors and I repented for self-harming myself. After that, asking God to help me out and everything, I haven't self-harmed since. The burns would kind of turn me on. I at one point was in a huge breakdown during the time that I would self-harm a lot, and I thought that I was vampiric, so I tried to kill myself at one point, and I pretty much used glass and cut myself, and I never would cut like right here where the main veins are or anything like that. I wasn't that crazy, but I tried to, and I remember having evil spirits around me, taunting me, telling me, cut, bitch, cut, you're worthless, if I can take your life, and all that stuff. And I remember looking at myself in the mirror and thinking, what the hell am I doing? So before that, I decided to, instead of letting myself die, to maybe drink my blood would make it effect, and that's when I drank my own blood. I did a lot of vampiric stuff. I was completely out of my mind, and I'm surprised I'm even talking about this to you guys. I would, and I haven't told like anybody about this except my closest friends. I would drink animal blood. I would cook with animal blood. I wouldn't drink it. I would cook with it. I was out of whack. I would self-harm and I would feed off myself. I just I would self-harm for many reasons, to punish myself. When people would make me feel worthless or not treating me like crap, I'd self-harm. It was just a way to release pain back then. And then, looking at the scars, looking at it, it's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. And nothing is worth taking your life over. I've learned to love myself, and I have never self-harmed since then. I was just really, really in a breakdown. This was during the time that I got off my Seroquel and Depakote on my own. Had the worst breakdown of my life. And I was just all that. During the time that I used the scissors, I actually admitted myself to the hospital for that, because I was thinking that I was just too, I needed help. So I wanted to get myself help. During the time that I tried to OD, they wanted to send me home. I decided to go to a mental institution to get help. I told them I would only go to one that I could smoke cigarettes in. So that's what happened with that. So there's my story. It's choosing self-harm is just terrible. You've got to look at the scars for the rest of your life. It's not worth it. It's just a scary thing. People call you emo and all this stuff when you've done that. But it's a true thing. It's something that happens, and it's something that's not safe and not good. And, suicide is a real thing. People commit suicide on many occasions, and it's not worth it. Nothing is worth taking your life. If you self-harm, get help, like I did. Go into the institution, help me learn to love myself and learn to let me stop self-harming, and all that. So thumbs up and subscribe. I love you guys so much. All right, bye.